So what I did is you can move this over a little bit so that you can see more of the coordinate system, which is what this is. You can click and drag it around. And then there's some different options under the wrench tool that we will use more as we use this throughout the year. One of them is you can change the values on the x-axis and the y-axis, especially when we start graphing functions like exponential functions that grow really fast. We will need to change our x and y axis. I don't need to change it for this though, so I'm just going to close it. You can also just zoom in and zoom out, and this just takes you back to what it used to look like. And the place where you share your graph is right here, and you don't have to be logged in or sign up to do that. You can just share it, and it'll give you a link, and you can copy and paste it onto your worksheet. All right, so the first question says to put in whether you're using Desmos or GeoGebra, or for those who have Sketchpad, you can use that. And then we're going to plot the following points and connect them in order. So this is how to do this. First, you can just put a point here. You can put 1, 2, with parentheses around it, and it'll graph it. But I don't want to do that. I want to put them in as a table. So if you click the plus sign, and then on table, now I can put all the ones that show up on this table over here. You might be able to copy and paste. I'm going to try. Oh, it did work. So when I copied and pasted, I got all of them. I didn't get them where I started, so I'll just X out of that one. And here's all of the points. However, it also says to connect them in order, and I didn't do that. So I'm going to go back to this and click on this blue dot thing. It's showing dots. It's giving me a discrete function, which means just dots. I want to edit that. So I clicked on it, and then I clicked edit, and now I'm going to click the blue circle. And here's where you can change things. I can change the color. I can change the shape of the dot. I can have an open circle instead, or little X's if I wanted. I just want dots. And then this will make the lines connect. And then this would make it draggable, but I don't want to turn that part on. So now I have the lines connected. I think they should be in order. So 0, 6 to 5, 9 to 6, 3 to 11, 0, and so on. So that's the shape that I got when I copied and pasted these over to here. I think that I was trying to make like a shape, and you can see that I messed up right here, because if I would have kept this at a -8, I bet, let me change this point. See if Desmos will fix it for me. See, that looks, oh, it still looks terrible, but whatever. I was attempting to make sort of a figure, but failed. But that doesn't matter. That wasn't the point of this. The point was to practice putting points in and then connecting them with a point. So let's say that we didn't copy and paste, that we wanted to just enter them one at a time. Then you would just do it that way too. Just click on the next row, and you'll get another place to keep adding your points. And 6, 3. And then again, to change it to adding lines connecting them as you go, we want to edit this. So we want to change it to adding lines in between them. And then they'll be connected as I go. Now, as I continue to go, the lines would be added each time. So that's how you do question 2. Now, in question 3, it says be sure you have saved your answer or taken a screenshot. So you could take a screenshot of this figure when it was all done, or you can get a link to the graph, copy this, and then you can just go here, and on your worksheet, you can just paste that link. So I went Control Copy, and then I Control V, and then this is important, click the space bar one time to make that link be live so that I can click on it when I see your work. When you turn your work in, now I'll be able to click on that and I'll see exactly your graph. And then, so number 3 says, make sure you've saved your work, and then make a copy of your picture from number 2. You don't really have to make a copy because it's up here. And then change it in some way. So maybe instead of, maybe you want to try to fix my star shape. It didn't go so well. the rest of the points, but they're not connected. So I'll connect them. And I can point here. So you change it in some way. You can also click on, you saw that there was this drag thing. That means I could change one of my points by dragging it. And it'll change it over here too, which is cool. So maybe I could fix it and then find out what the points were after that. So then you'd add another screenshot, or you would take another link, copy and paste it, and then keep going. Number 4 says to make any discrete graph. A discrete graph, I'm going to clear this. I'm going to X out of these. A discrete graph is made up of points. So for a discrete graph, you just have to add some points and not have them connected in a line. So you can add points either with using the table tool, or you can add points just by entering them like this. But that's a discrete graph. You could probably put a lot more points on there. Then the next one says make any continuous graph. Continuous graphs have points that have been connected in a line. So I would need to change this to turning the line tool on, like we looked at before, or you can type in any function equation, like 5x plus. That's a continuous graph. So in Desmos, you can just type the name of the equation and it'll graph it for you. You can type quadratics. This is why we're going to use this so much this year, because it can do so many different kinds of functions. And then number 7, you can turn these off so that you're not deleting, but they're just not showing up anymore. In 7, we're going to graph this quadratic function. At the same time as the line y equals 10. We want them both to show up at the same time. And this is one of the really cool things about Desmos is you can click on the places where they intercept. It will tell you the values of those points. So these two graphs intercept at negative 1.667, 10, and 110. So that's pretty cool. Okay, last thing I want to do is show you how to find the equation of a line through some points. So the first thing I'm going to do is add a table. And I'm going to put those points in my table. So my points are negative 1, 5. I don't need them connected. 0, 2. And the last one is 1, negative 1. Okay, so those points showed up. They sure do seem to be in a line. Now, how do we write the equation of a line? You can use your skills from algebra, and you can find the slope and the y-intercept, and you can write the equation as y equals mx plus b. That's good. Or you can use some tools in Desmos to do this. So we're going to ask Desmos to find the equation of this line that goes through those points. And we're going to do this every chapter once we start learning about functions. We're going to find the line that matches the data, matches the points. Sometimes it'll be an exact equation and sometimes it'll be close. It'll be an approximate. So instead of typing y equals mx plus b, I'm going to type y1. And I made it a little one just by typing 1 after it. And now instead of typing the equal sign, I'm going to type this symbol. You can find that symbol on your keyboard at the upper left, or Desmos has a keyboard. And it's right down here. I don't know if you can see the bottom of my screen. But in Desmos, you can use a keyboard to find all the symbols that you would need in writing equations. And then I type mx plus b, but instead of x, I'm going to do x sub 1, because I'm matching up where my points were, x sub 1, y sub 1, plus b. So you'll notice that Desmos graphed the equation of that line, and it tells me what values to use for m and for b. So if my equation is, I'm going over to the worksheet here, y equals mx plus b, It told me what to put in for M, -3, and what to put in for B, 2. Oops, I forgot the plus sign. So you can use that for Desmos to help you find the equation of a line. Or you could have done it by finding the slope, which ends up being -3, and the y-intercept is 2.